right, so it's official. Somehow, James Charles has managed to make himself look even worse than he already does to many people out there based off of the past that he's curated for himself with, I'm not gonna get into everything, but trying to turn straight men gay, his repeated unintentional interactions with minors. Apparently those minors lied about their ages and they were on adult dating apps, and somehow James Charles just kept getting mixed up in that, but I suppose that still tarnished his name. And now it seems like recently it has managed to get even worse, because TLDR, James Charles had a former best friend by the name of Kayla, who broke up with her alleged abusive boyfriend. Apparently this guy was beating on her, choking her, hitting her over the head with random miscellaneous things. And while having all that information, James Charles still went ahead and had sex with this guy. Yes, they had sexual contact, sexual intercourse, and honestly, bro, and I say this with a major pause in between, because pause, but how horny can you be, bro? Is the D that important for you to literally sleep with your former best friend's domestic abuser because you find him cute? Yo, she said, you just broke my jaw, and this man really just said, good. The same man James Charles decided to sleep with, even after having all this knowledge. You can see the lump on her head, bro. Like, honestly, bro, if you have a best friend, a girl best friend, and she's being abused by her ex-boyfriend, and for some reason, because you thought he was cute, you thought he was hot, even after knowing everything he did to your best friend, you still go ahead and decide to sleep with him. Honestly, that's crazy. Yeah, this is bad. Yeah, again, that's really bad. And here we have the boyfriend, Evan Johnson, who had to say this to defend himself by saying,
the 9 months we were together, she said the whole 9 months I was abusing her. Right? Why would we go out all the time and do all these crazy adventurous stuff if the whole time it was just terrible?
Bruh, you don't realize that you can still be abused and have fun, bruh. You can be actively abusing someone in a relationship and on your off time of not abusing them can still be having fun with them. Like, as strange as it sounds, there's a lot of toxic relationships out there that operate like that.
If I was such this terrible guy, why would she be with me? She could have left me at any second. She's way more up there than me. Has more money, like all this stuff. She don't need me. And if she figured I was no good for her in the time being, she would have left immediately. I promise you that.
Well, unfortunately, in reality, it just doesn't work like that for a lot of relationships. As baffling as it may seem, I don't know why people don't leave, men and women. They want to stay in these toxic ass relationships, literally getting their asses beat, being physically and verbally assaulted. I don't know what it is. But I will say, though, that just because somebody decides to stay, even though they're being actively abused, does not justify that abuse. Literally, it's still against the law. It's domestic violence. You can literally cop a charge for that. So if you, as the alleged abuser, cannot see that and think you're justified in whatever actions you're perpetrating against this other person, then all I gotta say is that you're retarded. And by the way, this person is obviously bisexual. Guy swings both ways. He is simultaneously the penetrator and the penetratee. Honestly, strange times we're living in. But here's what this guy who knows James Charles personally had to say about the situation.
So James knew.
Yes.
That's a fact. The only question is, he either didn't believe Kayla or he didn't care. Which one do you think it was?
He didn't care. James didn't care. He saw that, Evan was good looking. He thought, he obviously even told Evan, like, you're everything that, like, I look for in a guy. You have abs, you work out, you take care of yourself, you're super tall, and, you're a man.
He said Evan's everything he looks for in a man. Abusive, manipulative, pathological liar.
So basically, James Charles was just horny as hell, bro. This man let the D get to his head so much so to the point to where he disregarded his ex-best friend's entire abuse from this man allegedly being choked and lumped up over the head, and he still said, fuck all that. I don't care. He's hot. He's cute. I'm attracted to him, so I'm a smash. Like, that's crazy, man. Allegedly. That's crazy. But apparently, after hearing all these allegations and James Charles getting wind of what was being said about him by this man, Kayla, and being exposed for smashing his ex-best friend's ex-boyfriend, alleged abuser, because he was cute. Here was his response.
James started the friendship as I'm here for you. I've been through the same kind of things. Like, I want to give you advice. Listen to me.
There were some initial messages which we can put on the screen. James said, "Hello, I'm just now seeing these. I'm absolutely not on his side and would really, really appreciate it if you would leave me out of this. I only ever spoke to him because he manipulated me into thinking his situation was similar to what I went through."
So now James Charles is the one being manipulated. That's funny. I mean, technically speaking, he has been manipulated, I suppose, many times in the past because he was just horny as hell. It's funny to me how all of the manipulation, you know, that James Charles has gone through in the past has stemmed from him just being uncontrollably horny. Like, this man cannot control his D.
And he says, "It was a really personal and sensitive topic that I had empathy for. I felt disgusting and awful, and I've stopped responding to him altogether."
You mean after you smashed? So you stopped responding to him after you smashed? Apparently James Charles put him up in a house, provided him free lodging, free bedding, free meat, pause. Allegedly, James Charles wanted that in-house buddhism. And honestly, I wish that word did not exist, bro. But like, fuck. Again, we're living in strange times, man.
Let's talk about whenever we were in the car and you were FaceTiming, you know, Evan all the time.
The ex-boyfriend who allegedly abused Kayla.
You remember the time when you were just talking about how fat your ASS was?
Not surprising for James Charles. I mean, he's always been obsessed with his ass.
You remember talking so badly and poorly about Kayla and pretty much hyping Evan up that he wasn't in the wrong, that he won out of this? Like, let's talk about the time when we were on FaceTime and then you hung up and then you sent a message on Instagram and says, "I have a big surprise for you when you get home."
Oh, I wonder what that big surprise was.
Just remember, I went home with Evan, so I saw everything. You remember the photos you sent?
Oh, I wonder what photos those were.
Multiple photos.
Oh, multiple photos. Okay, James.
You just had to show it off, didn't you?
Show it off. I wonder what.
You just really had to get to Evan, didn't you?
Yep, he tried to slide him in the...
If I'm wrong, please come at me. Please. If you can prove me wrong, come back at me. But let's see where this goes. Because you definitely need to be called out and stuff needs to stop getting deleted. Just because you have power and you have followers does not mean absolute shit. You're in the wrong and you're in the wrong. That's it. So speak up. Stop hiding. Stop acting like nothing's happening. Because I'm not gonna stop. If I have to get everything out there, I will. I am not going to stop. So James, what's your response?
Honestly, James Charles, he wouldn't be in the situation right now if he could just control his horniness levels. Like, bro, this man, like, every guy he feels like he's attracted to, he just can't help but find a way to get what he wants, even at the cost of a relationship with his own close friend. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I know nobody wants to hear another story about James Charles, another video, but I thought this video was kind of a good topic to talk about because I didn't think James Charles would ever go so far to literally sleep with somebody who allegedly abused one of your closest friends. Does that make any sense? That's like me going to the hood, somebody robbing me, stealing my car, and then the next day I see one of my best friends hanging with the person who just robbed me. I literally got headbutted, robbed, they took my car, and now you're hanging out with this person, talking, laughing, dancing, sipping on some mojitos or whatever the fuck. Like, nah, that's dirty work. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, until next time.